Hello everyone, today I will recap you a movie titled No One Will Save You 2023, so make some tea and we'll start. The action of the film begins in a house on the edge of the forest, where a girl named Brynn lives. Choosing an outfit for the day, the girl goes down to the basement of the house, where there is a huge diorama and a sewing workshop. Having finished sewing, the girl carefully packs the dress and goes outside. On the street, she notices dried grass, which she's watering with water. Then she goes to the city, on the way noticing a neighbor. She stops and greets him, but he turns away and leaves. The parcels have been sent. Brynn visits her mother's grave. On the way to her car, she notices a couple in love, the sheriff and his wife, but the girl hides behind the car so that they do not notice her. Returning home, the girl is resting by the lake and writes a letter to her best friend Maud, but then a mail truck pulls up to the house. The courier, momentarily transformed into Ace Ventura, throws the parcel to the ground without worrying about the safety of its contents. Brynn takes the package, and inside, there is another building for her diorama. The girl spends the rest of the day as usual, cooking, eating, rehearsing a dance, and writing a letter for her friend. After all the things have been done, Brynn goes to bed. However, in the middle of the night, all the lights turn on at the same time. The light, of course, soon goes out, but the shock makes the girl get out of bed. Looking out the window, she saw an overturned trash can and decided to go fix it. But on the way, she notices that the front door of the house is open and someone is on the second floor. The girl sees a silhouette and hears footsteps. She sneaks back to her room, but the creaking of the floor gives her away. The uninvited guest goes to the source of the sound, forcing the girl to return to the bedroom. There's Brynn hiding under the bed. The door to the girl's room opens and a stereotypical alien with a big head appears. He approaches the bed, and Brynn sees the guest's legs, which scares her even more. But unable to find the girl, he makes a sound and flies up to the roof. Startled, Brynn goes down to the living room to close the door. She hears footsteps on the roof, and the electrical appliances start to turn on again. The girl turns them all off and tries to call for help, but the phone starts to creak, and the refrigerator doors open, as if there is not an alien in the house, but a poltergeist. Brynn wants to go back to the bedroom, but her guest is already coming down the stairs. He walks around the kitchen, and suddenly the refrigerator door opens, closing Brynn. She sees first the legs, and then the long fingers and the alien's head. Terrified, the girl pushes the door away with the monster and runs away. However, the miracle guest, with the help of his cry, strikes the girl with a door torn off its hinges. Brynn crawls into her workshop and the monster sneaks after her, and then he turns the table over with the help of telekinesis, pulls the girl to him, and lifts her into the air. But Brynn is also not stupid. Taking a piece of diorama, she pierces the alien's skull with it. He falls, and the girl crawls away to the wall. She stayed there until morning. After making sure that the body has not come to life, she covers it with a cloth. Brynn tries to call the city again, but there is still no connection, as there is no electricity in the whole house. Even in the car there is not enough battery, and now there is no way to go anywhere. The girl, having first blocked the door with the help of a sofa, goes to the city on a bicycle. On the road, she notices an overturned mail van, and circles of dried grass are visible on the neighboring lawn, like at her house. After reaching the city, Brynn goes to the police station. There she meets the sheriff and his wife, but the woman only spat in Brynn's face. After that, the couple silently leave. Realizing that she cannot find help here, the girl leaves. The girl falls into despair from what is happening, but her gaze is fixed on a passing bus, and she decides to go somewhere far away. A man with a mustache is sitting next to Brynn. As soon as she wants to run away from him, he grabs her shoulder, making strange noises. Something alien is also stirring in his throat. In a panic, the girl pushes him away, but at the same time she falls. The man crawls after Brynn, and another passenger joins him with a parasite in her throat. Noticing everything that is happening, the driver stops the bus and the girl runs out of there. When Brynn gets to the church, she finds that it is closed. Not knowing what to do, she goes to the nearest cemetery, where she finds the tombstone of her friend, Maud Collins, who died as a child. But suddenly strange thunderclouds appear in the sky. Realizing that this is not good, the girl starts running towards the house. Along the way, she notices neighbors who are looking at the sky with their hands raised, and there is a parasite inside everyone. After reaching the house, Brynn cautiously approaches the door, thinking that perhaps the alien has come to life. But he's still lying there, and there's a slime streak running next to him, as if someone crawled out of there. The girl prepares for the night, closes the windows, curtains the doorway, lights candles and boils water. But her plan fails. the nails start to come off. A ray of light appears in the doorway, which lifts the body of the deceased alien and pulls it out, while Brynn hides. When the beam turns off, the girl runs to the basement, having time before the appearance of a new alien. However, the flashlights are trying to find the girl. Then a new guest comes down to the basement. He's trying to find Brynn hiding, but she takes the scissors and hides under the table. When the dummy falls, she turns around, but the alien is already sitting behind her. He uses telekinesis to first take away the scissors from the girl, and then a photo of Brynn with a friend as a child. While the uninvited guest was looking at the photo, the girl managed to escape. She goes up to the first floor, but another alien makes his way to her. Although he is small, he is skilled. The monster jumps on the girl, but she fights him and bites his hand. While he screams in terrible pain, she breaks free and runs to the kitchen to lure the child into a trap. Brynn throws pots of hot water at him, but he goes to her, forcing her to run. At some point, the girl almost falls into a gravitational beam. The alien stands behind the girl, forcing her to lock herself in the bathroom, but he's still banging on the door like we're watching The Shining movie. This is such a space Johnny. Brynn pushes him away with a mop, but then he breaks apart, and the girl attaches him to the closet door with a piece of mop and hits him on the head with the second door to calm him down. Having got out on the street, the girl is still being chased by guests from outer space. This time he already grows out of the house and moves like a spider. Brynn wants to run away, but meets a mustachioed man from the bus. A UFO appears in the sky, which is joyfully welcomed by our alien spider. The girl scratches the man's arm and kicks him right into the gravity lantern. But when UFOs realize that this is not the right object, they turn off the beam, and the person falls. The UFO flies away, and Brynn runs away. For a moment, she thinks she has managed to escape, but an alien appears on the roof of her house, and he starts howling at the moon like he's a wolf. After that, he descends, falling awkwardly in the final. The monster moves towards the girl, but she hides behind the car. He crawls after her but gets stuck. His foot pierces the bottom of the car along with the gas tank. Noticing this, Brynn takes out a lighter and ignites the gasoline. As soon as she has time to escape, the girl sees the car and the alien burn down. A ray of light falls on a girl who has not yet had time to enjoy the victory. He drives her into the house. Brynn hides in the attic, but another alien comes for her. While the stranger is distracted by photos and letters, the girl wants to attack him from behind, but with a slight movement of his fingers, he throws her aside over the wall. With difficulty, she goes to the bedroom, but it's a mess. All the things are on the same side, but she didn't have time to figure out what that meant. The girl falls into a gravity trap, and another alien appears. Approaching Brynn, he opens his mouth, from which a parasite crawls out, a clot of tentacles in the shape of an egg. He climbs right into the girl's mouth. At this moment, Brynn wakes up in her bed in horror. She notices that she has no wounds, and the room is in perfect order. When she goes downstairs, she sees that the door is in place and her diorama is also intact. The girl goes out into the corridor and sees an adult moody tot. Brynn apologizes to her friend, then puts her hand in her mouth. She takes out the parasite from there and finds herself next to the house. The parasite breaks out of the girl's hands and runs away. After that, a ray of light falls on him and creates a clone of Brynn. But the real Brynn runs away without waiting for the end of the process and not knowing that dozens of UFOs are doing the same over the city. The clone meets Brynn in the woods and sticks a sharpened piece of steel into her stomach and then hugs the girl. But Brynn is not going to give up. She sticks a stationary knife into the clone's neck. Leaving the clone in the forest, the wounded Brynn walks along the road. But there is a rumble of footsteps, and a giant alien spider comes out of the fog, and then the girl falls into a gravitational beam, which takes her inside the UFO, where the aliens are carefully examining the girl from all sides. After the inspection, one alien touches Brynn's forehead, and she finds herself in her house. She sees herself as a little girl who, together with her mother, is building a diorama. Going out into the street, the girl sees the police. Among them is the sheriff, crying with grief. Then Brynn notices two little girls who are fighting. Maud pushes young Brynn so that she falls and picks up a stone. Brynn hits her friend with a rock. Maud falls dead. Then Brynn finds herself at a table with a younger version of herself. A teenager writes her first letter to a friend she killed. Realizing that she needs support, an adult Brynn touches a young version of herself with her hand. After reviewing the girl's memories, the aliens discussed what they saw in their native language. After that, Brynn gets caught in a gravity beam and ends up where she was abducted. Lying on the ground, she sees colorful lights in the sky and smiles. After a while, Brynn puts herself in order. And then she rides her bike into town, visiting neighbors on the way. They greet the girl by making the sounds of parasites. In the evening, Brynn dances as if nothing had happened. Everyone around looks happy and smiling, and UFOs are slowly floating across the sky. The end. Thank you for your precious time.